is that Jambo?
What is that stage for us? Kicking up corners. Yeah, we could be superstars, but I'm pretty sure our time is up. And so we fell off the spinning tops. ATL Juggle.
Say you my nigga, I'ma be your killer. Nobody gonna play with you when I'm with you. Go against any nigga like fuck this girl. Skeet all dirt on bitches.
Biggest rap song in the country.
62 million fucking streams. I just checked that out before we recorded.
Probably more, man. Add them up.
In the street, you gotta add YouTube too.
Oh, that black, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all counted them out.
Yeah, we didn't. All right, we're not.
Y'all, not me, but y'all.
We're not going there. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the BlkPrint, a walk through the community with myself, J5, and Josh Pease.
It's good, y'all. We back.
Officially episode 2.
It's funny, man. Every time we come back and do it, I'm like, we back, because
here's the thing, we back because you never know when we go.
It's like your pops, like you never know, he might come back around. Like you see him, be like, damn.
Of course, we are here to talk to you guys about the stories, the events, the things that shape and mold our community and our culture. With two guys that have lived it.
Yeah, we're still living it.
We're still living it today. Of course, the last episode. Fantastic episode. We walked down we took a trip down memory lane a little bit with a good pal, a good brother.
You know, I thought about that this morning because I'm like, I literally was thinking about something in the shower and I was like, I'm not no memory lane, nigga. I was like, think about this shit right now. Like, that episode was great.
But I feel like as you get older, you start to be like, damn, I did that to get here.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, you know, you got to go back to that. So I feel, and also like shout out to our equipment. We finally. Not sharing a mic, we not have like this, because I remember when me and used to do the RNC radio show, we just had like this little USB mic we would speak right into. Then we upgraded, again. See, hey,
it's more upgrades coming too.
More upgrades coming. Hold on. I don't think I have it queued up. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I should always have it queued up. There we go. Sorry, y'all.
Come on, man.
Sorry,
come on, man. Yeah, more upgrades coming. This is just the beginning. You know, I sound crisp and clear right now.
Yeah, of course. No, absolutely. And I want to thank everybody for just the great reaction to the last episode and the episode before that. You guys have clearly wanted to hear us. You guys have clearly wanted to hear the show, and we appreciate y'all. We got more stuff coming for you guys. What's gonna happen? We'll talk more about like the Patreon and extra shows and stuff like that at the end of the show. But of course, we got a really cool caller, you know, that we're gonna talk to in a few. But I want to just talk about some stray thoughts. Like I've literally been trying to figure out what to call this segment on this show. I wonder if you guys can help us name our little like news. It's not even really news. It's just conversations about the culture. Maybe that should be. That's not. I don't like culture no more either. So it's like
it's community for me. But I think yeah, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you'll be able to help name that segment.
Yeah,
I can't just be. Not everybody can help name that segment.
For sure,
it gotta be a real one.
So I took a look at everything that's been coming out this week, and I like to like use this segment as sort of like a kind of like we plant our flag in something and we have an opinion on it and everybody talks about it, and then we kind of get the opinions of everybody else after they listen to the show and they tell us what they thought about what we were saying about the stuff. So first off, Ozark season 4 part 1 came out on Netflix. Did you? I feel like you've watched Ozark.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Ozark fan. I love that shit. I hope I tweeted this earlier this year, or last year, that Ozarks is gonna have like an NFT angle.
Do they have one in the season?
I mean, I don't know, but if it happens, they need to put me in the writer room.
I feel like that the show kind of blew up out of nowhere. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan, so when I watched like the first 2 seasons, I was like, this is treading a little bit too close to that. Like, was I wrong or was it
crazy, bro? I'm gonna let you into a Josh Pease fact. I have not finished Breaking Bad.
What?
I mean, it's just I don't know. Like, it didn't do it for me.
It's okay. I feel like it's either one or the other. Once it's either some people. Actually, there's 3 things. People love The Wire. They love Breaking Bad. Those are like the top 2
and
most acclaimed.
I still be looking at bro like Malcolm in the Middle dad. So I really just like it. Just throw me off. It's just like
How far did you get actually in Breaking Bad?
I don't even remember. Maybe season 3. Maybe
that's when it starts to get good. There's gonna be a bunch of people that are gonna tweet you and hit you up and say you need to finish Breaking Bad.
I watch real nigga shows, man.
All right. Oh, and Ozark is a real nigga show? Come on, bro.
No, you know what? Ozark is good, though, because he be under pressure. I love him.
Like, Walter White, listen, anyone listening, tell Josh, Walter White is under way more pressure than Marty Byrde. I'm telling you, he is.
No, man. Marty Byrde be doing it. And I don't know, white collar crime intrigues me.
That's what, wait a minute. Actually, Breaking Bad is kind of, there is some white collar crime elements to it. but not fully white collar crime.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get my fiance to actually listen to or watch Breaking Bad too. I had to basically skip 3 seasons and tell her what happened and then get to the good shit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what somebody has to do for you.
Yeah, maybe.
I've been watching a lot of TV. Of course, there's another show that came out called Abbott Elementary. You have tapped into that yet?
I haven't yet. I've been seeing people talking about it. I'm gonna check it out, but I haven't.
I saw the creator, and she's actually the star too, Quinta Brunson.
Brunson, yeah. I've seen her face before.
Yeah, she was a stand-up comic.
Well, no, I see. So she used to be on like little gifs.
Yeah, the
all
little
time.
the Millie Rock gif is where I first saw her, and then like she just blew up. I remember my a good friend of mine, Eric, Jew Chains, on Instagram. He does comedy shows. She did a set for him, I believe, like 2 years ago, right before quarantine. And I was like, oh, she's pretty funny. And then out of nowhere, she's got a TV show. Like I've watched like the first 4 episodes, but then it's like it takes place in Philly. They do Philly slang. It's the principal on this shit she's the most hilarious character in the whole show. They got a kid from Malcolm in the Middle on that joint. He's funny as hell. It's kind of like people keep comparing it to The Office. I think other than like the camera documentary.
Josh P's fact.
What's that?
Never watched The Office. Never even. I think I watched 1 episode.
What is it about The Office that didn't hook you? I mean, there's only like one black person in it. That's
you know what's funny? I like Office Space, that movie. That's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. Is it similar? I watched 2 episodes.
I think
it is similar, and that's why I don't really fuck with it. It takes a little idea from Office Space and try to make it a show. It's like, come on. Like, come on.
I think what draws me in with Abbott is that it actually talks about actual issues within inner city schools.
Okay.
They talk about funding. They talk about, teachers having to do everything. And I think honestly, like, teachers are some of the most disrespected, underappreciated, especially in this time we live in now. And I think it's dope. Zach Fox is in it.
Okay.
He got a gig on that joint. He plays like her boyfriend, and he's like a wannabe rapper. And
himself.
He's funny in it though, but it's definitely something to check out. I also saw the new Scream movie.
I haven't seen that yet. I heard that, but I saw someone tweet that this is the best Scream movie ever.
Number one is an undisputed classic. You seen the first one?
Yeah, I've seen most of them.
Yeah,
I haven't seen like the couple recent ones. They've been kind of booed.
4.
It's like a movie or a TV show. Like,
the TV show had Tyga in it. Have you seen that one?
Did he die?
Yeah, he does die.
Damn, that's how. Like,
the TV show was on MTV. It ran for a couple seasons, but this one is like kind of just like a direct sequel to I guess the 4th one.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. It's good. I think that for real, like the only movies niggas are going to go see are horror movies and superhero movies. Those are the only movies that are making money. Scream made like 35 million, 40 million first weekend.
Crazy.
Spider-Man, of course, made $1 billion already. It's about to be like the number 2 highest fucking grossing movie of all time.
Shit, crazy.
Do you feel safe going to the movies yet, or are you just like?
Yeah, I went and saw Macbeth in the theaters. Tragedy of Macbeth.
You said you were going to go see that last time we recorded.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ignored it because I was like, he's just playing. You really went to go see that shit?
Visually beautiful movie. Shakespearean language is hard to comprehend, but I got the gist of it. But no, the movie looked amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joel Coen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was blown away from that.
What drew you into going to go see Tragedy of Macbeth?
I'm a man of the arts, man. Nah, I just wanted to check it out. Honestly, like I saw it and I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." Denzel's in it. Nigga, Denzel drew me. Actually, come on, nigga.
My mom always used to say that Denzel was my uncle, or either my uncle or my real dad.
Low key,
low key.
You know what's crazy? We got our call-in person's calling me.
He's calling you.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me
try and
set this up real quick. You know, it's the BlkPrint thing. It just happened.
Hold on 1 second, Modi.
Things happen as
live on
they come.
air. Oh yeah.
No, hold on.
Shouldn't have called me. I told you to text me.
There he goes. Now we in.
So yeah, man, we here live on the BlkPrint, doing the unorthodox as always. It's sounding great. It's crazy. We're giving you a high quality right now. We got my man, another man of the culture. This is why,
Absolutely.
like for real, like one of them ones. We got Modi on the line. Say hello to the folks.
What's up, folks? This is Fire. I'm happy to be a part.
I'm happy to have you here, man. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother.
You know, the last time I'd say the last really pivotal moment when we crossed paths was when I saw you in the all deaf office.
Oh God,
Can we tell the story?
Can we tell the story?
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about, do I want to tell that story on air? And I think the answer is yes. I think it's a good story to tell.
So a couple years ago, I was working at All Def Digital, and I mean it's damn near defunct at this point, so we can tell this story. Literally my first day that I came into the office, Russell Simmons came out in the office and said, "Hey, I didn't do it." And I said, "Oh no!" I hit my mom up and said, "I shouldn't have picked this one." So a couple months go by, and you know I've known, you know, Modi and I have, you know, we have the same friends. We've crossed paths so many times. I respect him so much. I see him in there, and I take him to the side. I literally get up from my desk and I run over and say, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Turn your back now. Don't do it. Leave. Run. Go." He was just like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Nigga, get out of here. This is not the place." Because it was literally like, remember in Get Out? When he's like, "Get out, get out." That was me to you. And that was the pivot. That was when I knew I was like, all right, this is my nigga for real. Like, I'm trying to protect him from this shit.
Nah, I'll say this. Well, a few things. First off, the story happened exactly like that, which is the craziest part. Because I remember seeing you get up from your desk and run my way. And I was actually scared. Like, do we have beef? Because you were moving really fast. And then you were like, yo, like, you know, because really my side of the story is I wasn't there for a job interview. I was actually there because I thought they wanted to talk about partnering with my music festival, Trilectro, because that's how I knew All Def. My partner, Quinn, rest in peace, Quinn, he had a really cool relationship with All Def, and he's who put me on them. And he never could tell me exactly what they did. But I was like, okay, if they have a check for us and they want us to promote some shit, I'm definitely down. So I got an email from, I think it was their CEO at the time.
Yeah.
And he was just like, stop by the office. And I was like, sure. You know, I was working at Red Bull at the time, and I didn't have a lot of, I didn't like my boss at the time. We were working on radio stuff, and it was terrestrial radio, meaning you had to tune in like at the time versus a podcast, whereas like you can listen to that on your own time, or like online internet radio. Like, it just didn't have any like value to me, and I thought it was just a mistake, but I was working on it. So I was in a place that I was ready to just like get out the office and use my day doing something other than program radio shit that I don't care about. So I was glad to get out the office and go to this place that I didn't know anything about.
Right.
And yeah, walked in there and I left with a job offer, and it was more money than I was making by far at Red Bull. So to me, I was like, look, I'm gonna take this gig. And then 4 months later, I quit. And I was just like, man, I should have listened. But you know, I think I'm glad that I went there because there was a lot of really cool people that I met.
Yep.
But it definitely wasn't where I needed to be career-wise. It just was like a cool, it wasn't my favorite professional moment in time, but it definitely was like a moment in time that I'm not mad at, and everything happens for a reason. And
Absolutely.
I'm here and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So, you know, but I always think about that story. And I think it's incredible that you had the foresight and you knew what was going on.
Hey,
you know?
and I'm gonna always do that. And then when you hit me back and you told me what, because I knew that they were offering you that. So it's funny that now I didn't know that they weren't trying to offer you that job until you just said that just now, because they said that they were always going to offer you that job. And I was like, wait, so they basically just blindsided you essentially.
Yeah, I came in with different expectations because again, I didn't know what All Def did. I wasn't privy to their actual content or anything outside of they had a content series called Traffic Jams, which was basically like carpool karaoke, but with producers, I believe. And that's all I knew, that they make that piece of content, but I wasn't very privy to the rest of their shit. And I was looking at it like, oh, maybe Red Bull can partner with you guys. And then they really offered me a gig. And I was very, you know, to me, it was like, I would love to work with Black people. Like, you know, I've never worked at a company with, you know, majority Black folks. So I was excited. And then I had a director title, which just looked and sounds sexy. You know, I was like,
of course,
call
anyone
me a
would take
director.
that. Yeah, anyone would take that. And I was just like, bro, if it's for the bag, take the bag. Don't even worry about the rest of it and take it.
Yeah, he said that. And I was like, bet. And I took the bag, and I never made that much money in my life. And I never walked away from that much money in my life either.
Yeah.
So it was like, it taught me that I didn't care that much about bread as much as I cared about adding value.
And your piece, like, because honestly, I ended up leaving maybe a month before you started because I was having my own type of issues with the management there, and I was like, you know what, let me go then, and I left, and I ended up going to Red Bull, and then I would tell people, hey, yo, they were like, they used to be like, when I was at Red Bull, they were like, do you know Modi? I was like, yeah, that's my homeboy. Like, I tried to stop him from getting a big bag one time when accident.
That's hilarious.
But I'm so glad that you're on the show. Thank you so much. I know you got like a busy ass schedule. We just want to sit and talk to you about.
I have nothing going on. I have no schedule. I'm doing laundry. I quit my job last week. Like, I'm chilling. So,
shout out to that. Shout out to quitting your job.
That's all, I had to quit, man. I'm a free agent, doing some cool shit with some cool people right now, but no health care. No health care.
They try to take that shit away too. We gotta get it where we can now, bro.
Where we can, for sure.
For sure. Well, I don't know if listeners had heard this 2 episodes ago. Me and Josh kind of had we had a small conversation about this. Would you say, Josh?
Yeah, it was a small conversation, but it was just, we touched on it. But it's a space that, like, I think, and we're talking about the NFT crypto space. I think this is a space that that is new to all of us, everyone involved, people in it, people who are experts or whatever. But it seems to Justin a little scammy.
Well, no, here's my thing. Here's my thing with this. And Modi, feel free to step in anytime because you're doing some really cool stuff in the space. But and the reason we wanted you on is because you're the only person that I've seen that have talked about the downsides of the space. Okay, so I've always been concerned about not only the aspect of just like the fact that I feel like it solves a problem that we don't actually have right now, but that there aren't enough black and brown people advocating for this and advocating for people within the space trying to be knowledgeable about it. So you had a tweet a couple of weeks ago about one of these tech bros that were super fucking racist and they tried to reach out to you and stuff like that. I don't know if you want to get into it, but you're knowledgeable in the space and I'm just trying to get, a black person's perspective on Web3 and NFTs.
Well, I'm going to give you my perspective and then Modi's going to give you his perspective. And my perspective is...
This is the Josh P's perspective. This is not
going to say, if it's $1 to be made, it's a play to be made. Like, that's all it is. Like, honestly, this is for us... And for everyone involved, it's a new space. It's a lot of money getting exchanged. And if you can get in it right now and figure it out and learn, why wouldn't you? I think I see so many people are so anti, and I'm like, why would you be anti this? Like, I put a few $100s in some shit, and now it's $10,000.
But you could understand how people could be skeptical about it because of everything else that people have been grifted on for years.
Yeah, that's just the game, man. That's the hustle.
That's not just the game, Josh.
Life is a grift. It's not fair. If you learn, you're going to figure it out. It's like gambling. People lose their money gambling all day.
I look at it like any type of investment, look at music, right? You sign 100 acts, you hope that 10 go and pay for the rest. Like, you may be sold on some shit that you think is going to go crazy. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And if to me, Web3 to me is interesting because, I think my whole approach to it is I just want to, if this is a space that's going crazy, I want to understand it because if it's the future, it's like back in the day, right? Old people that didn't know how to type right, they were lost in the sauce. And the youth that knew how to use the typewriters would get the jobs. For me, I want to know what's going on. I mean, I'm 35 now, I started this journey when I was, 18, 19, being a quote unquote cool kid, being a part of the culture. Yeah. Right. But now at 35, I'm seeing the 18, 19-year-olds that are doing crazy things because they understand how to leverage technology and just, that to me is the key. Like, if you look at everyone, all the VC firms that are investing in shit, they don't want to invest in a music festival. They want to invest in technology because you can scale that shit. Exactly. So for me, I look at the space like, if all these people with money are looking to find the next big dog in Web3, and if these tech bros are buying cartoon apes in JPEG form, and there's a world that's, and then they're buying them for Lil Baby and Post Malone, there's something going on.
Yeah, but how do we get our people into it to a place where there's an entry level for them to get into it? Because a lot of people you know,
Sure.
there are 20, 21 years old that come from middle or lower class, don't understand it either. Like, I'm gonna be honest. When I look at, you know, I work at a pretty prominent company in video games, and you know,
Yep.
we look at the landscape and we see how many people talk about NFTs and we see how many people talk about Web3. It is, you know, and I'm not saying this, you know, as like to be on my side, but it's like you look at the social listening on the word NFT, you put it with video games, it's widespread negativity. Like people are pushing back on this. So it's like, how do we make it entry level so that people won't see this as a scam when you see crypto.com gets hacked and then people lose trillions of dollars and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I can say, you know, you got to do your own research, and this is not financial advice and all that type of shit that people say.
Yeah.
To preface, you know, like I hear all that, but just because it's negative, like a lot of people have negative connotations or negative sentiment about shit that they don't understand. I think the whole NFT space is like, it's like anything. If you really want to learn it, you got to get into it. I do think that there's a lot of barriers to entry for anyone, social, you know, economic people that don't have the means, the access, like say a tech person that worked at Google and got into crypto in 2013. Like there's a different knowledge, you know, there's definitely a gap there. My whole thing about the space is, like you said earlier, like there's not enough people of color in the space.
Right.
And I think that, you know, with that, the only way to combat that is to form communities and places where we feel like we are welcome. And those places exist. I mean, when I got on Twitter, I deleted my old Twitter, started a new Twitter, kind of to focus on NFTs. And, you know, my old Twitter was music, culture, all this, you know, all the shit I fuck with. This new shit is the same shit, but it's really more NFT focused. So the people I follow are in that space. And I started to say there's no sauce in Web3. That was like the thing I just would say on Twitter all the time. Cause I'd be like, this is the lamest counterculture, subculture I've seen. But like somehow all these people are getting rich.
Right.
And some, like a lot of the shit is, you know, they're looking at black culture to make it pop. Like
Honestly,
I mentioned.
though, it's funny.
Go ahead.
This is like a lot of countercultures. I mean, you can even look at streetwear and say that, like, you know, the cool kids and the black kids who were wearing that shit kind of made, you know, the Supremes all this money, and they didn't really reap the rewards until, you know, now it's starting to kind of happen. So I see that same thing in Web3, but my thing is like, now that I can recognize it, I want to jump in and be a part of it. And I see some of those new projects popping up, like even like Weather Report from Will Nichols and Zach. Those are guys who are from the culture who really get it and started a project that, I mean, it's very much in vein with how NFT projects look, their little avatars and shit, but it's dope. And Will's been doing his own thing with his photos too in that space too. That's been kind of going crazy as well. So
yeah, I see the value proposition for real artists and photographers. So I see that value proposition, but it's like, my question is like, and Modi, maybe you can like kind of, you know, clue us in, like what are some things that you see people doing or some things that you're doing yourself to kind of have an entry level to get people of color into the space? Because I've seen your campaign on, you know, ain't no sauce in Web3, you know, and I'm like, damn right, because all I see is a bunch of pencil pushers and egghead ass niggas running it. So like, what do you think, you know, could be done, or what are you trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, one thing I realized, so what I did is I got involved with this event that happened at Art Basel, thanks to my man Max and my man Chris Cadaver, who are both like artists in the Web3 space. Max brought me on board. He saw what I was saying on Twitter. I was like, yo, I think we should do something at Basel. Then he hit Chris Cadaver, who's from Florida, but he lives out here in LA. Fire ass like artist, like crazy shit. He can kind of do whatever he wants. And we just kind of were talking. Max has a line to this artist named Latasha, who's kind of known in the Web3 space as the first rapper, I think first female rapper in Web3, right? Okay. And she just has like the network of all the people that are really causing commotion that are of color in Web3. So we got her involved, and she's working with this, I guess it's a marketplace called Zora, which is kind of like OpenSea or Foundation. And she's lead a community for them, but she also is an artist. Like she's rapping, she's dropping music videos and selling them as one of one NFTs on the blockchain. Like she's innovative in the space and also like one of the first in the space. So she's branded herself in the space, and she has an audience and a community that she's built. She has a thing every other week called Zoratopia, which is essentially like a onboarding to Web3 for people of color and, I guess marginalized communities, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a Twitter Spaces where she talks about shit and introduces different artists and talks about how to mint and do all that kind of shit. And to me, when I saw that, I was like, yo, actually, that's not true. It wasn't me, but it was like, we need to figure out a way to bring this concept to life in real life. So people, because my whole thing about Web3 is also like, I don't think it should look like Ready Player One and everyone just is in the metaverse. Like, I think
I see that
like,
shit. I saw that shit look like The Sims. That shit don't look cool to me.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think that's where it's going. I think you still have to have IRL, like in real life interactions. So my whole thing was like, bridge the gap between those two worlds, have an event where people can actually see other people that look like them. Because it's like strength in numbers and confidence too. If I feel like people like me are represented and in the space, and I'm gonna be like, oh shit, I want to get involved because this person's doing it and they look like me. So essentially, Zoratopia was kind of my introduction to a lot of these artists of color who are like out here, going from not being able to pay their rent to selling their art for 6 figures. And I'm meeting these people and hearing them, putting panels together with these folks and starting to realize that there actually is a lot of sauce, but it's just not as loud as the people that are able to get the dope ass press because they have the publicists and this and that. So I think there's some more organizing that needs to go into it, but there's definitely people in the space. I think there's a lot of different ways you can approach NFTs too. It's not just like they call it a PFP NFT, which is a profile pic. So when you see someone, say Bored Ape or a Doodle or one of those projects as their avatar, that's a specific type of like world and community that comes with that. But there's also people like, we all know Blue the Great, who when I, was at South by in 2010, I ran into him on the streets and I said, when I make some money, I'm gonna buy some art. Fast forward to 2013, I get hired at Nike and I can't decide what I want to buy, so I just fly him out and have him paint my wall in my apartment. Fast forward to 2020, he has his own Jordan 1 sneaker. Fast forward to 2022, he just sold his first NFT artwork as, I think he made $48,000. And that's one piece. He can crank those out every day if he wanted to.
That's the story. That's the story I want to hear about us doing it, not calling, you know what I'm saying, or somebody else doing it,
And that story's there, though. That's the thing. Like,
exactly.
People are doing it. It's just, there's always going to be a gap because tech is not, like, this is, if you think about Web 2, which is like social media, we weren't there first. We were there last. And we were the coolest people that made it cool, but we weren't in charge of shit. Web 3 is an opportunity because it's kind of like anybody can get in and do what they do. Now, I don't have the answers to this shit. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do think that there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of people organizing and there's a lot of things like this community Friends with Benefits that I've joined that, to me, they're innovating and talking about, bridging the gap between culture and tech. And, I think there's a lot of people trying stuff, but it's early. Like, we're not even a year deep for real.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and that's kind of that's my biggest point is like, it's still so early. So like jump in, like even if it's foreign and it feels crazy to you, then yeah, like it feels like that to everybody across the board. It's not a racial thing. Like it's like
Exactly. Like everyone's going through it, and some people are just quicker to organize and work on this shit. For example, it's funny because Josh was the person that I saw him talk about. He was in line to mint his Bobby Hundreds Atom Bomb squad, and I was like, shit, like I got to catch up. It took me about 3 weeks after I saw that to get on board, but I jumped on because Bobby Hundreds, right? I was reading his book. His book is essentially, I think it's called This Is Not a T-Shirt, and it's just about how he built community using, I guess, the streetwear community, right? And I think it's a very good book. especially as a community organizer myself. But I see, like, after I started reading that and then saw what he was doing with Atom Bomb Squad, which is his collection, I realized that there's ways that you can be from the culture and add to the space. And
I don't see him advocating for like black and brown people though, in terms of that though.
But I think it's not. I think it's past a racial line. It's just like he's advocating for a community. He's literally he's the reason why I got into this space, because it's like I saw someone like me.
I feel like it's just weird for it to be that, but he's still like advocating for the Olympics in LA, and I just think it's just weird to me. I think maybe I don't want to hear that message from him. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, look, I would love to hear more of that over a cocktail, my friend.
Yeah, let's do it. We gotta for sure do it. But listen, I hear what you're saying about, you know, what you're doing in the space, and I think that it's like, I think that it's actually kind of shown me with stuff that I didn't know in terms of like what people that look like me are doing. You know what I mean? Like, I look to you as somebody that is you know, absolutely as pure and honest as can be. And, you know, I didn't come here like Josh was like, yeah, you better take your notes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not about to be adversarial to Modi. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't even adversarial. I think for me, like, I just want to educate. Like, I think some people are so anti to this Web3 movement. I don't even know what to call it. It's just Web3 that, like, you're going to miss out. You're literally going to miss out. And we're going to be last to this boat.
I agree,
and I don't want that.
I think really all it is that, you know, you can, it makes sense to just pay attention. You don't, like, my whole thing was getting skin in the game, because once I got skin in the game, then I started to actually understand like what the potential of the space. And I still think every day it's fucking nuts. Like, I'm in hella group chats with all white dudes that are like in it, and, you know, they know people that are behind these communities and collections, and they're influencers in the space. And I'm in group chats with all people of color who are like also tapped in on the developer side, worked at Instagram, got $2 million to do their own projects, but they look like us. They've been to Trelectro. Like, they look up to me, and I'm like, yo, you just got $2 million to do your project, but they still see what I'm saying in regards to the culture. So when I hear that, it makes me understand like there's definitely a missing link, and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't have the answers yet, but I think it's just about paying attention, because my whole thing is I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in and into the space. And I think, you know, one of the first things I did kind of to connect, I guess, the culture was I got Young Thug involved in one of these NFT communities called Thugbird.
Now we're talking.
and I think that was cool, because his team was like, yo, we just want to drop an NFT collection. And Web3 to me is much like Gen Z, in that, you know, Gen Z, you know, values transparency. You can't lie to Gen Z. That's why, like, if you look at today's social media landscape with Gen Z, people are making TikToks in their bathroom and going viral. No one cares. Our generation, the millennials and older, want the perfect picture that's polished and this and that. Gen Z doesn't care. Gen Z wants the truth, wants the real. And in Web3, I think it's very hard to, I guess, they just value transparency. So for me, it was like, if Young Thug were to just come out here and drop an NFT collection, and you guys know that Young Thug knows nothing about NFTs, that collection is not going to do anything or last.
Bro, I saw Summer Walker drop the NFT. I said, all right, man, what are we doing out here, bro?
Well, I mean, that's different. That's something that Modi kind of touched on earlier, where you kind of have these hedge funds or these VCs kind of buying NFTs and gifting them to artists and like trying to pump and dump, I think. And that's, you know, that's the education process. You got to kind of sift that out and see. And like, that's life. That's gambling. Like, that's investing in any stock.
Like, Uzi dropped a collection. It fell flat because he didn't support it and deleted all the tweets about it from his social, because he has no idea about NFTs and Web3. But that's for these certain projects. There's other projects, like you're seeing brands like Pepsi come into the space. I'm getting hit up by people that work at big brands because they see what I'm talking about, and they're just curious about my perspective, which I think is pretty cool. You know, that I'm just talking my shit and people are actually listening to my shit, and they see what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, I think, you know, I did the same thing with Wiz Khalifa. I got him at Thugbirds, and I started to realize, like, yo, this is I don't think that's the end all. Like I don't think just aligning like a NFT community with a big artist is the wave, but it was my way of getting in the inner workings of some of these teams.
Right. Because
Start to realize that they don't have any access to culture. They're run by people that don't know the space for real, but they're pretending or not pretending, because culture, you know, like hip hop culture is not about Black culture anymore. It's evolved. It's hip hop culture is just international phenomenon. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not like they're I don't know how to say it.
They're influenced by it, but they have
Exactly.
no connection to it.
Right.
Exactly. It's
And I
not
think
a direct connection.
and I think that's where the apprehension comes from, because I think really Gen Z is not interested. They see through bullshit when it's really like, oh shit, Lil Baby has an NFT, and they're like, man, fuck that. Or I see a bunch of artists that have these collabs, and I think that people see through, like, they want to see the real. They want to see how the real inner workings happen. And when you put Reese Witherspoon and fucking Seth Rogen and all these motherfuckers in one room, and it's like they're not buying it, you know?
Yeah. No, but I think that's like a lot of products, you know, that people go and they get celebrity endorsements, and like, you know, I don't know if anyone's.
It's the same shit. There's no difference. Literally none. That's what I'm realizing. It's just another. I mean, it's another marketing tool, but I think with Web3, it can be so much more. Like there's so much more than just. It's not really like. I think the reason it's going crazy is because people are making money. But if you said that NFTs were just an expression of art, all these people saying that they're buying quote unquote art would not be buying art because it wouldn't make them any money. I don't think most of these collections are actually art projects. Lou the Great's project is art, right?
Yeah.
That's art because he's an artist and he's making shit. And there's art components to the shit, but it's not all art. It's really just a project, and it's, you know, it's still taking shape. We're still trying to figure out what this shit really is.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's so dope to me about it. It's still taking shape. Like a lot of these projects, I'm just such a fan of just Brain Vomit Gardens. Like I like Steven Rea. He's actually an artist. He has physical art. He kind of saw this space kind of doing what it was doing. He jumped into it, and like his project, it's like 4,444 pieces. And it's actually like they all are kind of like pieces of art. Like I could see someone hanging it on their wall, but I like the community of it, and I like what he's doing. He's building his own metaverse. It's on the Unreal Engine. It's just something that like I've been in the Discord chat with these people, and I'm talking about Crocs and showing them my Crocs collection, like with a bunch of strangers. I don't know none of these people. I just feel like I like the community of it. I like it's different people from different walks of life. You can kind of go in there and just shoot the shit, learn something new, and that's what I think it is for me. I'm learning something new about this NFT space, and I'm just learning something new about people and like what they're into and shows they're watching, and like
it's a new way of connecting with people. Yeah. My only gripe is like I went to one dude out in Venice. His dad is like a Burning Man vet, and he's like a young burner.
He began high.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, he had a really cool concept for his NFT project, but my whole thing was like, because I'm a community organizer and builder, and I've done this shit, you know, I just went to Love Hour in Koreatown yesterday for their wine night with my man John. And like that's an example of like true community. Like they're building community with human beings and people. But a lot of these people are building NFT projects to build community. And I think that's reversed. It's like you have to build something that people like. I think that's a fair way of doing it, but some people are forcing this concept of community. And I think that's a term that you're going to hear overused in 2022, because it's just like not everything's real community. Like you have to have a actual community organizer. You know, if they have a project, I believe in it. But a lot of people that aren't that are trying to build community through a concept. But it's like
community, without actually a connection.
Yeah,
That's funny.
You need actual connection and people to build community. Yeah. So I think, you know, it's just interesting. And again, like I'm just watching everything, and I love talking to other people about what they're into, because everyone hits me like, what do I need to buy? They're gonna buy ridiculous, Wasted Whale collaboration that no one's ever heard of, and it's just like
I see some bull fucking shit.
You don't got a takeoff NFT? You don't got one of them takeoffs? What is it? Well, I don't even know what it was called. But
I think that's a crazy one. But the thing about that is like, because it has celebrity attached to it, it definitely had a moment. I don't think it's long. It's a long moment, but like Takeoff had a moment and definitely got a bag, but like I don't think he actually knows what the fuck he's doing or what the fuck NFTs. Like I don't, and I'm not. I feel like I may be judging him, but I think these collections, like Bobby always talks about how it's a long-term thing. Like you're not doing this for a year and tapping out.
Yeah.
Gary Vee says the same thing. You're not doing this shit for, this is a long-term investment, because at the end of the day, the best communities will run without you there because you built the framework. Yeah. And I don't think everyone's looking at it long-term. Like everyone's like, oh, this is some bread. Yeah. I think the best projects are things that people are really thinking about long-term. Like, and the other thing is you can kind of do whatever you want. If you want to say, look, I think I want to make something where my NFTs can breed and I can trade with someone else or make an NFT. Like there's weird things you can do. Like the limits, it's limitless. And that's why I think it's cool, because there's so many weird things you could do if you really want to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite part about it, man. Like it's literally, you can dream it up and make it happen. I think, a lot of these projects are doing some cool things, and some of them are trying to figure out how to make it in real life. And I think that's super interesting too. So,
yeah. So, Modi, thank you so much. I know you know what I'm saying? You got so much money to make right now. You're the boss nigga discount king over here, okay? I know. Let me run you up again. Let me run you up one more time. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We got to have you back on the show imminently, sir. We got to do like a real like long form type thing, because you've had a life, all right? And I feel blessed just to be able to intersect into, in some way, shape, or form into it. You know what I mean?
Well, look, I appreciate both of y'all. Justin, Josh, you guys are great. You guys, I'm glad you guys started this, by the way, too. And I'm excited to hear more episodes. So thank you guys for having me. Ready whenever y'all are. I told people, I was like, I'm never doing no interviews, no podcast. And then Josh hit me and I was like,
I say no.
So I'm just happy to talk with some folks that understand me and what I'm about. And I fuck with what y'all are doing. So congrats.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you again, man. Man in the culture. Go to your art show. Enjoy your evening or your afternoon.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Peace. All right, bro. Peace. That was Modi. What a conversation, man.
Man, that was great.
That was good. I got some stuff off my chest. We got to have him back though.
I think it's funny, man. I just really, that's why I really want him to come and speak to you directly, just because I feel like you're like a lot of people I speak to, or a lot of people around me who are just like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't understand it.
I get it though.
No. And and then it's a lot of people who get it, but it's like, I see no one like me in this space. I don't like, why would I want to be in this space?
Yeah.
All right, but it's like, it's not, and earlier I said something about money. It's not just about the money. I think it's just about like really seeing the next frontier of this shit. This is literally going to be, Google.com is going to be, the next one is going to be built in that space. The Amazon.com is going to be built in that space. And like, we need to get in on the ground floor. Like, absolutely. So that's kind of my thoughts. I'm glad Modi came on here and just let us know about the things he's doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit, man. It's really it's a new frontier.
We're gonna have him back soon. But let's talk about another frontier real quick.
Go on the internet right now. Tell everybody who got the #1 album in the fucking world right now. You did? Please. And this ain't the first one. This is more like the third one, but this the big one. This the big P.
Ghana, man. Hey. You called it.
I'm telling y'all, man.
Man of the year, man.
Man of the year. I seen it all coming. You heard he says like more like the third one?
Yeah. Because
Slime Language 2 was the second one.
Yeah.
Gunna really out here running it up on folks. Like, he really coming into himself.
Yeah.
Like, I really see it. Like, what's next? It's the Future run. Where's the Pop Smash at?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we need Future back.
I'm talking about the Feature run.
Oh, like the Feature. Oh, yes.
He's about to get a Chloe Bailey pop hit. Normani, you better come get one. Like, I'm telling you.
Well, here's my thing with Ghana and just this week that he's had, these 2 weeks that he's had, because when last time we recorded, the album just came out. Yeah. 2 weeks later, he's #1. He's gonna be #2 this week or whatever, and not even a 50% drop. It's unheard of, especially in this moment in time. I've been tracking Pushing P for the past 2 weeks because this is just what I do still, even though I don't really like work in the space anymore. You're talking about like 1 million a day.
Everybody
streams.
Remember who was pushing P first, though, folks?
But
the Bay Area.
But what do you kind of like? What do you call this moment? And I think like in a lot of ways, I attribute it to two things. I think I attribute it to Thug being able to kind of step out the way and be like, okay, this is it. This is him. Like I don't really need. I need this to be bigger than me. And I think it's also Gunna finally realizing his moment and being like, he's gathered so many viral moments just from his outfits in 2021. That he said, you know what, I'm gonna throw that back out there and then just create something way more just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I love the Louis Duck, and then Kodak went and talked about it in the song. Like it's just like, man, like that's lifestyle.
Yeah, no, Pushing P is a phenomenon that I think we haven't seen since like The Box 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, the song is crazy. The emoji's even crazier.
Apple needs to be paying him for the fucking emoji. We've seen IHOP pushing P. We've seen Walmart pushing carts, pay your workers. We've seen Nike pushing P. Everybody.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I was just talking to someone about this the other day, and they're like, man, I really haven't seen anything like this before. And it's like, we have, though. You know, like, hip-hop, and I feel like I can't think of the last album, really, but, like, we always kind of impact culture in this way, where now it's like Walmart's using the slang. It usually happens with slang. Oh, Meg, hot girl shit. Everybody had hot girl shit going on in 2020 or was that 2019? Whatever year that was. And so it's like that's the next iteration of this, and it's interesting, man. You social media brand, y'all got to get more creative, man.
Yeah, what my idea is like, so the moment's passed, so I'll say it. Somebody should have teamed up with that as soon as they saw it catching fire. Like, why doesn't he have like a commercial already out with the song?
I mean, it's gonna take a little time.
I feel like that takes. I feel like it takes too. I feel like it takes way too long to impact, and then you see them. They're calling a social media person.
Also, but this is my thing. Also, a lot of brands are like, the social media person has a little more leeway. So
yeah.
They can do that on social media. A lot of these brands like Pushing P, like to sell that up to a brand, they got like, what does Pushing P mean? Who is Gunna? What does his name mean? His name is Gunna, like the Gunna. Like it's a whole lot of steps they got to get to. But I will say, shout out to Jif Peanut Butter for they had the gun.
Yeah, they were first. Like, did you watch the Gunna and Ludacris sit down? I'm such a fan.
All I saw was a sponsor ad. I was targeted. I'm Gunna holding the peanut butter like Za.
On what day were you talking about peanut butter and also listening to Gunna to get targeted like that?
I don't know, man. I think it was just the Gunna, but they for sure targeted me. But nah, it's just like, that's just interesting. Period. And I think it's hard to sell. You know, like, a lot of these corporations not gonna get it until it's too late, and then, you know, they run in with it's the next wave.
Album's great. It's gonna be, looks like the only hip hop album we have out for the next couple of weeks. So
yeah. Nah, wait, hold up. We got a new YoungBoy album.
Oh yeah, this guy is going crazy out there in Utah.
YoungBoy crazy.
He's going. How you feel about the album? You like? Yeah, I haven't seen you talk about it.
I listen to, like, there's like 2 songs I like on there. They're like the diss songs, so I'm like, come on. No, actually, there's one song called Tuhu or something. I like that song. I'm a fan of the number 2. So.
Oh my God.
Running with it.
All right. So another thing that is going on right now, I've seen it all over Instagram. We talked about this before. The seeding list went out a couple days ago.
Man, I'm still waiting on my pair. I think it's held up at customs or something like that. You know?
I'm still waiting for my fucking, sizing sheet. Just send me the damn invoice. Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones, they're out. They revealed.
Man, them shits is clean. They Virgil, RIP, you did that. When I saw the preview last year.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, I have to have these shoes. Then I seen the auction this week, and I said, all right, it's a good shoe to look at.
Yeah, it's something to just. His thing, would you even wear them?
Oh, absolutely. I wear my shoes.
Yeah, I wear my shits too. Yeah, so I would wear them.
I'll wear them for sure.
But listen, man, me and Josh haven't got our pair, and we're honestly a little bit tired of the disrespect. All right, like. Cool. We coming out strong in 2022, so all you brands, y'all need to get with it. We need to have our seeding lists out. We need to be part of this. Listen, we can take really good pictures of these shits. You know what I'm saying? Like, LV, don't overlook us.
I know y'all see the fits I'm getting off on the gram.
Listen, Josh posts a fit every week.
It's kind of crazy.
He's getting off. Like,
we just chilling. That's the crazy part about it.
But this coincides, of course, with Paris Fashion Week. Louis Vuitton's another showing. We saw Tyler soundtrack the whole thing. He was riding through the show like he was Debo on a bike. How big is that moment for Tyler? Do you think like that? Him and Virgil were really close.
Yeah, no, they just had like an immense respect, and if you know Tyler and just like how obsessive he is, and you see like what's the stories coming out around Virgil, it's like they're on the same level, just how detail oriented they are, and like how deep they go into like studying shit. So their friendship was amazing, and it was dope to see Tyler part of that moment. Had the fresh cut with the fresh waves. Shout out to you, Tyler. You dipping? I see you.
Shout out to Ronnie too. I know he edged him up.
Yeah, man. So no, it was just dope to see. That collection was dope, man. Is this Virgil's last LV collection?
I believe so.
Man, jeans is hard. He had some dope shit in there, man. It was just dope to see, and just the show, like Mos Def was a part of it, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just dope. The break dancers and just the different dancing, the bed. It was just, that shit was crazy.
Absolutely. So Paris Fashion Week next year, I expect the BlkPrint to be there.
Yeah, maybe we do an episode live from Paris Fashion Week. This year, one of the brands I saw that I was really like a new brand I saw that I hadn't heard of was Bianca Saunders. She's a designer. That shit was dope. She had some shit in there. I was like, all right. Then I saw it was a black woman. I'm like, oh shit, this is even doper. So shout out to you, Bianca Sanders. I saw some shit I like. I might cop.
I saw, you know who else I saw there? He still hasn't answered the phone for us. Reese LaFleur was there.
Front row at the LV show.
Yeah. Look at him.
Looking like a cloud.
He's stunting on us. He's shitting on us. All right.
Boy.
He said, I'm not picking up the phone.
Nah, he's gonna be an episode when we do the next iteration, the next frontier, the Web3 version of the BlkPrint.
Young Corey was also out there. There was somebody over before after the last episode came out, they said they want to see him on the show. Young Corey, if you're listening, hey, the invitation is out there.
No, it's funny. These are the people I'm seeing Paris Fashion Week through. Corey, Reese, Joe. So shout out Corey was at the Dior show backstage. I'm like, damn, Corey.
We got to get all three. We got Joe already.
Yep.
Reese Hollywooded us. We got to get Young Corey on the show now. We got to talk Circulate on there. So, one thing I want to get to before we wrap this thing up, Patreon is coming. It is made next week. We're going to reveal the date of when it's going to launch. And we're also going to reveal the tiers, and we're also going to, get into a little bit some of the extracurriculars going on with that. So the BlkPrint Patreon is coming. We still have a lot more announcements to come. I'm trying to stall for time here so that we can have it line up at the same time. I'm trying to be real professional with it, but it's coming.
Yeah, no, it's coming. The Patreon shit's about to be lit too. Let us know what y'all want, man.
I think they want video.
Video. Oh, we got video for y'all.
Yeah. So the thing about video is though, Josh, is that I gotta be dressing every single time.
I'm coming out how I'm coming. I'm just letting you know, man. But no, video's gonna be fun. We're gonna do some cool shit. How we gonna shoot this shit?
I don't know. We gotta find a place to shoot. It's fine though, because we got Patreon. We're gonna do it all.
I want them to see it raw.
Yeah.
Dogs and all. Roman over here. Rye over there. They gotta see it. So yeah. Coming soon. You're gonna see the fits. I got some Gary Paytons right now. Got on the wrestling tee.
Rap is Crap World Tour.
Come on, man.
Hey, the WrestleMania trip is coming. That's gonna be such a fucking fun episode when we shoot it out there.
All right, Patreon subscribers, I'm gonna do a vlog daily from WrestleMania just for y'all. Y'all don't even understand. I'm about to give y'all some crazy. Y'all better subscribe. Because the WrestleMania vlog is about to be sick. I'm coming cosplay down. Y'all don't even understand. I'm coming in a whole wrestling attire every day. Niggas gonna think I'm on some shit. It's gonna be like Comic-Con, but for me.
Listen, we're gonna be 10, 11 deep at WrestleMania in Dallas. If you're pulling up there, it's gonna be the first BlkPrint kind of fan fest out there.
We got Wale Mania. We got WrestleMania. It's gonna be lit. Man, hey, we gotta do a wrestling episode. We
are doing one.
Man, we got my boy
Reggie. We're gonna get Reggie. Well, here's the thing. Our connect at WWE legitimately left the company. So me and Mills, we do the wrestling podcast. We're working on getting it, but we're gonna get Reggie. Even if I got to DM him myself, we're gonna get him.
We're gonna get him. I'm gonna bang on him.
But thank you guys once again for listening to the BlkPrint, of course, with myself and Josh. Really appreciate Modi for being on the show. Such a great guest.
Man.
I'm in awe of just how much he was able to pull out of NXT, or not. I say NXT like it's wrestling, NFTs, and what we'll be able to do in the future. Listen, I'm still a little skeptical, but I'm open to have my mind changed. Okay, so of course, As always, follow us at Josh and Peas on Twitter. Follow me at OGJohnny5 on Twitter and Instagram. And both of us have the same.
Follow me on Instagram. That's wrong.
That's where you're at more often, Instagram. Follow RNC Radio Live for all the updates on all of our podcasts coming out. That is the A Show podcast. That is Overly Medicated on RNC Watch. That's everything that we do. I do a whole bunch of podcasts, Josh. I don't know how I'm going to do this year. I got a lot of shit to do.
Podcasts at the game, bro.
Bro, fuck it. I do this weekly. We do this all the time, bro. So until next time, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But, as always, like we said, our schedule's going to change. So be ready for the Patreon and all the extra
stuff. Subscribe to the Patreon because you're going to get into my close friends with subscription.
Yes, sir.
That's where it's really going down.
All right. See you guys later.
Next time no shout to see me, I was riding with a friend. This alligator Kelly, not the Stacy, please. Do not hate me, hate the game, baby. Do not hate me, hate the game, baby. Do not hate me, hate the game, baby. Popped out the Lamborghini and she ate me. All the water on my sleeve, I need a jet ski.